Hi, I'm Anna.
And I'm Christian.
And we are
patients at Dominion Fertility.
We met at martial arts doing wushu, which is a type of kung fu.
We just had this connection. We didn't really start dating till much later.
Much later.
But we were very close friends.
So after 13 years of having a crush on me, he finally said something. We kind of had this long talk when we realized there were feelings involved and said, hey, either we're in this to get married or we shouldn't do this because I don't want to mess up our friendship. So we were really close for so long. Oh,
I proposed.
He tricked me.
Yeah. It was a good trick.
And yeah, he asked and I said yes. We knew we wanted children the whole time. We had always talked about having kids, having a family. We're both only children, so I've always wanted a bigger family. He always wanted a bigger family. So pretty much right after we got married, we started not trying, if you know what I mean. We realized after about a year that maybe we really needed to take the next step and start to time things properly, doing the whole ovulation cycle stuff, all of that. We realized after maybe 3 to 6 months of doing that there might be an issue. So after maybe 6 months, we went to talk to our OBGYN and he said, you know what, let's take a look at your cycle, and he put me on Clomid. It looked pretty promising, so we were really holding on to hope that, we could get pregnant with the Clomid, and it didn't happen after a couple of months of trying with that. Yeah. He really thought that we would be able to look into natural cycle IVF or stimulated cycle IVF, and thought that Dominion Fertility would be a great fit for us. After we met the doctors and the nurses, everyone, all the staff were just so nice. We really felt like this warm, fuzzy feeling going there. So we started having talks with the doctors about, what is our next step? What do we do? So we did 3 IUIs and then we started the IVF. We decided to go ahead and do a stimulated cycle. The first stimulated cycle, I wasn't producing a whole lot of eggs, but all the eggs I did produce did fertilize, which was excellent. Yeah. And then they all made it to day 5, and we got them all tested. Only one came back normal.
You hear stories of people coming in and getting 20 plus eggs. So not seeing those kind of numbers was disheartening, but we were hopeful for just the one. And Dominion definitely harped on it only takes one. So we clung on to that and hoped for the best.
Yeah, I was pretty upset about only one coming back positive. It felt like a loss already at that point. But again, like he said, we just clung on to that hope for that one. We're so excited. We thought it would work. And we transferred, and unfortunately, we got a call from the doctor, and it was a no-go. It was negative. After that, we were pretty devastated, and we kind of decided, look, we're doing this. Let's just keep going. Yeah. So we were go. So our next cycle, we did a natural cycle. So our second cycle, we missed the cycle, so we did another IUI. It was not successful. The third cycle, we did another stimulated cycle. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, we only got 3 eggs and they all degenerated. We did another natural cycle. So we did stim, natural. Yeah. That was all within 1 year. That one, we did get an embryo. It was textbook. It looked great. We transferred, and again,
it didn't stick.
So at this point, we had lost so much. Losing those 2 embryos, it was just so devastating. I feel broken a little from when I think about them. Yeah. I think about what would they have been, what would their personality have been,
Dominion definitely made us feel comfortable in the decisions we made. It was just hard going through it and losing the first 2.
After that, I was like, I need a break. You know, my body was exhausted. The hormones are really difficult. And, you know, having to inject yourself all the time, it just does a lot to you emotionally, physically, financially. I mean, it's a lot to take on. We tried another natural care cycle. It was not successful. Our embryo stopped growing right around day 4 or 5. We were kind of frustrated, but we decided to do another stimulated cycle. This was cycle number 6. We did a full cycle, and again, this was not successful. No. So at that point, we were pretty much done. I couldn't take any more losses. I was so sad. After all of this, I was like, you know what, let's just adopt first. If it happens, it happens naturally, whatever. It's not gonna happen, but you know. And at the end of 2020, we were like, well, our insurance is gonna cover one more try. Yeah. So let's just do it. We were both done. We were like, I don't wanna do it again. I don't wanna do it again either. But you know what, insurance will cover it. Let's just try it. Yeah, let's just try it. So we talked to the doctors, and he said, okay, let's just give it one more try. We got to the egg retrieval, and we had a few more eggs than we did previously. Yeah. I want to say we had like 5 or 6 eggs, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when we came from like having only 3 or 4, it was a big deal. And then we had some fertilized, and only 1 made it to testing. Oh. So we had it tested, and the test came back inconclusive. We were like, well, what does that mean? Like, yeah. Doctor said, let's just put it in. And I said, all right, this isn't gonna work. If our like grade A embryo that tested normal and everything, textbook embryo didn't work, how's this gonna work? Yeah. The embryo picture looked like BB-8. We nicknamed it BB-8, and we transferred, and I jumped right off the table instead of laying there like I typically did and hoping and you know, whatever. I was just like, let's go. Yeah, just go through our day. I mean, this was also our 7th egg retrieval. Yeah. Our 3rd embryo transfer. It was inconclusive. I did not have high hopes. We went for our blood test, and my niece was up for Christmas, and we went on a little hike with our dogs. I came back, and we got a phone call, and I sent them in Fertility. We were just expecting the worst. We were expecting the doctor. All we've heard are doctor's calls after transfers, so it's just like, all right, well, here we go. Here we go. I answered, and I heard the nurse's voice. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's different. Yeah. And the nurse said, yeah, you're pregnant. The test came out positive. And I was like, no way! That's not, how is that even possible? Yeah. I didn't even know what to say. I remember saying, like, this never happened before. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe after all these years, after over 5 years of trying, after all of these treatments, after 7 egg retrievals, after 3 transfers, I was actually pregnant. It didn't even feel real. The day came of the first sonogram, we had an appointment that afternoon. The doctor came in, he looked at all the notes, one of the nurses was in there, and he went to do the sonogram, and I'm basically holding my breath. We're both holding our breaths. And he pulls up the screen, and he turns on something, fumbles with some stuff, and I hear thunk, 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 and I'm thinking, God, my heart is beating so fast. I must be so anxious. Yeah. But the doctor doesn't say anything for a little bit, and I'm just waiting, and I'm holding my breath, and he says, that's the baby's heartbeat. And I was like, and I just started bawling, crying. Pretty much everyone except for the doctor was bawling. The nurse was crying, he was crying, I was crying, we were all crying. It was the first heartbeat. Yeah. It becomes like a family, you know, and we were so close with everyone after, you know, a couple of years of being there. And, you know, they really get to know you so well and really start rooting for you and putting a lot of their own soul into it, you know. We heard the heartbeat for the first time, and it was just the most amazing sound. We were so excited. Everybody was so excited. And then we actually put the heartbeat in this little bunny. So that's her actual first heartbeat. Yeah. Started the whole process of being induced. They said, you're not progressing at all. So we're gonna have to do a C-section. And I was like, all right, that's cool. Science got the baby in, science can help get the baby out. And I just remember feeling this kind of weight lift. And I, like maybe a second later, started hearing her cry. It was the most amazing, beautiful sound I'd ever heard. It was just the most beautiful thing I ever saw in my entire life. It's just stunning.
We spent so many years just hoping, and now that it actually happened, and she's here, like that was just a huge moment for us.
She came out looking exactly like him. My husband is an artist, and he put together this beautiful art piece. You know, poured his soul into it.
Yeah. I mean, I took all of our experiences and wanted to show our story without actually having to like tell our story. And the image formed this baby, like the outline of a baby.
Just to show what we poured into it, you know, the journey we took. So people who are looking into a fertility clinic, it's a hard decision. It's going to bring you joy, sadness, frustration, anxiety. But the thing about Dominion Fertility is they're there. They're there for you. They listen. There's a sense of family there, and there's a sense of true friendship.
It makes us feel so comfortable knowing that people do care and like genuinely want to help us and listen to us. And Dominion Fertility is like, that was them. They were just amazing.
This is Alia, and she's 9 months old. Thank you, Dominion Fertility.
Dominion Fertility, making miracles happen, one family at a time.